You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
All right, so if you're on this and you have a question, we have a couple Q&As that we've collected from this session. If you have something that you want to ask Jay, we're going to spend maybe 10 minutes and hitting some rapid fire Q&A. Okay, sound good? So throw that in the chat box, and Caitlin is going to copy them over to this doc. Jay, first question.
Yes.
How earlier you talked about not letting people buy less or more, and talked about the preeminence stage of sales. And someone's asking, how do you actually communicate that someone might need to buy more or more frequently in a preeminent way, without being salesy or anything like that?
You educate them. I mean, if you don't know why, you can't communicate it. The concept of reason why is a thread that really drives almost everything. And there is a reason why they need more. If they've already gotten a basic understanding, let's talk information, and they are applying it, and it's working, and there's 5 gradients higher that they could be achieving from the same day, the same time, the same market, the same investment, the same team, but they're not doing it because they don't know how to, but they've gotten a first level, then you owe it to them to encourage them for their own betterment, not for yours. Conversely, if they've taken the basic and done very little with it, and the advanced might focus more deeply, you have the obligation to at least explore that with them, but not try to squint-eyed get them to buy something they shouldn't. If for example, that whether it's a supplement or whether it's a regiment, and it could be business regimen, supplement. I mean, I try very badly to teach people to be very strategic and never do anything marketing, advertising wise that it's episodic, incongruent, intermittent, because it's a blatant waste. And even if it makes money, it doesn't advance and enhance their strategy. But you have to know why. The only reason anything is hypey is if there's no basis to it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So
yes,
as long as you
100%.
can explain to me why it's to my best interest, not yours. It's to my necessity, not yours. I owe it to myself not to stop at where I am because I've already gotten either a financial payoff or a physical payoff. Maybe I come and do something once a month and I get a pretty good, I've lost 4 pounds or 6 pounds, but damn well that if I come either, every third day or second day, I'm going to lose exponential numbers. Or if I can't come, I should buy this piece of equipment, or at least rent it from me, or at least have me send you a trainer because you want to get rid of that. You want to live an extra 5 years. You want to be attractive. You want to keep your mental acuity or whatever.
Yes. Great answer.
Hey,
totally
can I ask one of these
it.
questions, Taylor?
Yeah. Let's hit the writing question first.
Okay. You asked it then.
Jay, a couple people have asked, how do you get into state to write, assuming copy? You're one of the most renowned copywriters in all the lands. What's your process for getting into state?
I don't write very much anymore, except just in the sort of free form to my audience. But when I did it really full on, I would do 3 things. I would, number one, want to see what everyone else does. I'd want to see what the alternatives to that is. And I'll give you an example. If you were selling a weight loss supplement, I would study all the ones that are high ranked, and I would see what their copy says, what their positioning is, what they advocate. Then I would look at alternatives, and alternatives could be how fitness clubs, personal trainers, portion control, food, exercise equipment, books, online training videos, how all of those position. And then I would try to get a very, this is pretty cool. In this example, the guy that created Planet Fitness was a devotee of my work, and he looked at what was missing. So I'm always looking for gaps. The key's this: what about what is being offered is either got a gap or is not addressing a certain market or outcome, or is being marketed with too much assumptive, or is could be taken to a much higher state of value creation. And then I go and spend time walking around and observing people. If I'm going to write to somebody who's got a belly or a butt or a double chin, or I'm going to write to somebody, this is not who I want to write to, who's a bulimic, and believes they're fat, or I'm going to write to somebody that's tried 12 other solutions, or I'm going to write to somebody who maybe for the first time, I want to get my not barometer, but I want to get my what's the word I want to use? My
Frame.
I don't know what the right word.
Compass.
Well, compass is a great word. That'll serve it for today. And I want to be. I've been trained. This is not an ADD moment. It's a clarification. I've been trained in optimization, highest and best use of time, effort, capital, access, communication. And I'm not going to do anything until I first have a clear-cut vision of either the massive audience I'm dealing with or the direct audience. If I have the ability, I will call. I don't want to just read the reviews, but I will have people get all those things I told you collected for me from all the Amazons or the product, or I'll go to the review sites. I will also have testimonials that are not just patronizing and platitudinal, transcribed from various websites. And I take all that and I systematically gestate on it. So I'm looking for, how am I going to position by the way, I don't see myself when I'm working for a client as really trying to advocate for the client. My client is the consumer or the business owner that they're selling to. So I'm their advocate for whatever they're missing or needing or not getting from alternatives, or from not even acquiring this. And it's a different mindset than most people. I'm not trying to write from the company to you. I'm trying to write from you, really recognizing voids or desires or specific goals or frustrations, and introduce a new reality or a counter perspective, or sometimes what's the word I want to use? A counterintuitive piece of science or something like that. I mean, many, many years ago, I had a client, and this was a huge success, and they had a diet and a regimen that came from Romania that the Olympic gold medal weightlifters used, and it was all about eating fat, lots of fat, 5-6 times a day. And I gave it a name, and I gave it a counterintuitive, and I explained why it made no sense, but then I explained the science and but I try to think of everything I'm going to do first, and I identify the components that I want to address, and then I contextualize them into categories. A lot of this I probably do mentally now, but so there's different formulated ways, but everything is a headline that basically should convey a benefit, a promise, an outcome, a protection, enjoyment, entertainment, relief, something that is that is very, very real and very very I guess critical in the mind, heart, soul of the person. Then you got to basically go through whatever the formula you want to say is, but you got to prove it. You got to transfer it into their lives. You got to take them into the future. You got to show that it's not unique, and you got to give them permission that whatever they don't know or use or have not accomplished isn't their fault if they didn't know about it, but it's their fault once they learned it's possible not to at least embrace it. And a lot of things. I don't know if that helps.
Hey, Jay,
great.
can I? Yeah, I want to hit this. Probably the last question, because I know that you need to go. But this is probably the cornerstone of preeminence, and that's people having confidence, experts having confidence in themselves first. And this is something that we've seen plague many experts, and it's self-doubt and it's imposter syndrome. So how would you advise someone to get over that so they do first have that trust in themselves, confidence in themselves, before they can relay that to the market?
Well, they have to, tangible validation is, I believe that all the rhetoric is useless. You really want to be able to have confirmation of the results, your expertise, when properly employed or deployed, when whatever area it needs to be applied produces results. If you don't have that, you'll never be able to really have self-confidence. So the first thing, if you don't have it, is get case study validation, empirical based documentable outcomes of whatever your product service does. So you got the confidence in going to people and knowing that it's not about you, it's about what they deserve to get more from whatever they're doing or not doing. It's not about you, it's about them. I was drawn in the beginning, probably fortunately, to not even worrying about my ability, but I was focused on all the things that entrepreneurs who were dedicating their lives and the bulk of their day and their economic expectations and their fulfillment and passion tank and their lifestyle expectations and their wealth creation and their futures too were getting so little out of from what was possible. And I was obsessed with that. I wasn't even worried about my own ability because I could see things that were clearly evident even from the very beginning. But I think the first and easiest way is just get proof, not for your client, but for yourself. You see what your expertise properly applied and make sure that you can correlate it to some kinds of measurable result, whether it's improvement in productivity, time saving, effectiveness, reduction of downtime, lowering of taxes, higher yield, higher close, higher appointments, whatever the heck it is. Don't just say it. Take the time and invest more now to get the proof so that you can then have the certainty and confidence that not even worry about it anymore. I don't worry about it anymore. I don't worry, can I do it? I don't even worry if it's an industry I haven't been in, because I've been in enough industries that have correlation, that are similar, that you can extrapolate from. But you can't be your best externally if you're struggling internally with self-doubt.
Yeah.
And if you have self-doubt should only come from what's the word I want to use? It should only be a function of not proving your value to yourself. Once you've seen the tangible results of what your skill, knowledge, expertise can do when employed, deployed, harnessed by somebody, and if you don't have that, rather than spending the rest of your life with self-doubt, invest, a couple of weeks or months doing it for others and not worrying about the money. Worry about the execution, the implementation, and the documentation and the measurement. After doing that, you should be, off to the races mentally and self-confidence wise, don't you think?
Such a good answer.
Yep.
Such a good answer. Jay, we're gonna wrap up. You've been such a gift to Chris and myself. You've no doubt impacted hundreds of millions of people, but also you've had a great deal of impact on two guys trying to build an empire and a movement. And I just want to thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And if this has been valuable to you, if you're on this live stream, Jay, we want to give people a place to follow you. I was wondering if 50 Shades of Jay would be where you would like to send them.
Well, I think we created that to be really significant benefactors to struggling entrepreneurs. And I think that's a great one. It's not designed to make any money. They can opt in later if they want. But I think that if they can't get answers and direction from that, they probably can't get answers and direction from anything.
Yeah. Well, we'll post the link. And I know that Chris and we've studied your whole body of work, and I've been through 50 Shades of Jay, and I'm on your email list with multiple emails. Because when you find something good, you don't want to miss it. You don't want you don't even want there to be a chance to miss it. And so we'll post that link. And man, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
So much.
Thank you guys for being who you are, because you're both extraordinarily impressive in your authenticity and your integrity and your intentions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Appreciate that. All right. See you guys.
What's up, everybody? Chris here, and just want to take a minute and say thank you so much for listening to the Smartest Guys in Marketing podcast. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. Please go leave a review on iTunes, whether it's positive or negative. We want to hear your feedback and know what you're thinking and how we can improve. And if you know anybody that needs to hear what we're saying, please share with them. And the last thing I have to tell you today is, if you haven't gotten the monthly memos, jump over there and grab it at trafficandfunnels.com/memos. Here's the deal. The monthly memos is an opportunity for us to download what's happening in our business with our clients. And that's from mindset to marketing to strategy to tactics to traffic to funnels, business operations across the board. We are able to just break down and give to you what's happening. So our journey is to make a big impact. We want to make a massive impact on people's lives. And for us to do that, we're doing things like the monthly memos. We want you to get ahead faster and make a lot less mistakes than what we have made. And I think it's a great medium for you to do that. So jump over there, grab that. The price is ridiculously low, and we did that for a reason, just so there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to jump on there. trafficandfunnels.com/memos. And listen, again, really, really appreciate you guys.